Explain to me how I can look at my daughters and have them look up to a President Trump as a role model.
Nobody has more respect for
Just
women.
for the record, we did
That's
not
okay.
tell anybody any questions.
Nobody has more respect for women than I do.
And nobody respects women more than I do. I respect women more than I respect men. Are the men insulted by that, by the way?
We won with women. I love the women.
I cherish women.
Nobody respects women more than I do.
Now, I have great respect for women.
My daughter Ivanka always says, Daddy, nobody respects women more than you, Daddy. I respect women. I love women. I cherish women. I respect women.
Donald, all right, I'm afraid to ask this question, but what would you do, Playboy put Ivanka on the cover of the magazine and she had not...
This is going to be an interesting answer.
He doesn't even want you to have a drink, I know him, so...
It would be really disappointing. Not really. But it would depend on what was inside the magazine.
If she posed, it would be fine, but if they put her picture on...
Yeah, but it depends on what goes inside the magazine.
Well, see, that's her gripe. That's this girl's gripe.
And
people assume there'll be nude photos.
Right, you do assume that with Playboy.
Okay,
but if there weren't, you wouldn't have an issue with it then. If they were using her to...
I don't think Ivanka would do that inside the magazine, although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah. Well, you're known for saying outrageous things, Mr. Trump.
Who are you, Woody Allen?
Although she does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick.
Yeah.
Now, Donna, what does Tiffany have of yours and what does Tiffany have of Marla's?
Well, I think that she's got a lot of moral. She's really a beautiful baby, and she's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will.
Now, Donna, what does Tiffany have of yours and what does Tiffany have of Marla's?
Well, I think that she's got a lot of moral. She's really a beautiful baby, and she's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will.
Okay, Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
This is going to be an interesting answer.
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
Oh, that was Hulk Hogan creepy.
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. Well, I was going to say sex.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. The famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false.
I have more respect for women than Hillary Clinton has. I have more respect than Hillary Clinton, okay? So I thought it was appropriate. I mean, to be honest, I thought it was appropriate. He's campaigning for the wife. She said I had a penchant for sexism, which I don't.
It's on Donald Trump, and it has to do a lot with the women's issue, right? And I'm saying to myself, but nobody in this country, and maybe in the history of the country politically, was worse than Bill Clinton with women.
bimbo.
Dog. Fat pig.
Real quotes from Donald Trump about women. A person who is very flat-chested is very hard to be a 10.
I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face of hers.
Look at that face. Would anyone vote for that?
She had the height, she had the beauty. She was crazy. But these are minor details.
I like kids. I mean, I won't do anything to take care of them. I'll supply funds, and she'll take care of the kids.
You know, it really doesn't matter what they write, as long as you've got a young and beautiful piece of
That must be a pretty picture. You dropping to your knees.
There was blood coming out of her eyes. Blood coming out of her... wherever.
Women, you have to treat them like
Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. One thing about Michael Jackson, he lived in Trump Tower. And I see your show all the time. Michael Jackson, every night you have Michael Jackson, blah, blah, blah. He lives in various of my buildings. I mean, he sort of follows me around in the sense of he likes what I have.
Well, I know him very well. He's lived in my building. I'm going to stick up for him because nobody else is, but I don't believe it.
Michael was a great friend of ours, actually. And he lived in Trump Tower for a long period of time.
He did,
and he was a sweet guy, special guy. He was with me many, many times, at Mar-a-Lago in particular, in Palm Beach. And
all the joys of life is in
And so it was that we came back to our meeting at Neverland with 12-year-old Gavin. I'd found this easily the most disturbing moment of the past 8 months.
You know, some have, and they say, is that really appropriate?
When you're talking about children, we met Gavin. And it was a great privilege to meet Gavin because he's had a lot of suffering in his life.
Yeah.
When Gavin was there, he talked about the fact that he shares your bedroom.
Yes.
When Gavin was there, he talked about the fact that he shares your bedroom.
Yes.
That he shares your bedroom.
Yes.
Can you understand why people would worry about that?
Because they're ignorant.
But is it really appropriate for a 44-year-old man to share a bedroom with a child who is not related to him at all?
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing.
I mean, he sort of follows me around in the sense of he likes what I have. I moved on her, actually. You know, she was down in Palm Beach. I moved on her, and I failed. I'll admit it.
Whoa.
I did try and fuck her. She was married.
It's huge news, Sarah.
No, Nancy. Yeah. No, this was marriages. And I moved on her very heavily. In fact, I took her out furniture shopping. She wanted to get some furniture. I said, I'll show you where they have some nice furniture. I took her out furniture. I moved on her like a bitch, but I couldn't get there. And she was married.
Jeez, your girl's hot as shit. In the purple.
Whoa!
Yes!
Whoa!
Yes, the Donald has scored!
Sir, with the gold. I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. You can do anything.
A little hug for the Donald. He just got off the bus.
Like a little
Okay,
hug, darling?
absolutely. Melania said this was
bushy.
okay.
I just got off the bus.
Bushy.
There we go. Excellent. Well,
Come
you've
on.
got a nice co-star here.
Good.
Yes, absolutely.
After you. That's better.
This is much better. This is.
That's better.
Now, if you had to choose, honestly, between one of us, me or the Donald,
I don't know. That's tough competition. Yeah.
Seriously, you had to take one of us as a date.
You have to take the fifth on that one.
Really?
Yep. I'll take both.
My daughter is beautiful, Ivanka.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
35. What is it at 35, Howard? It's called checkout time.
You own this pageant. You go over. You're meeting the girls. It's like one of them comes up to you and says, "Mr. Trump, you're a very sexy man.
You're a beautiful man. You have fantastic hair.
Well, you're a powerful man, right? Right? You're a powerful man.
Right.
I want to sleep with you." Now, you're not the type that would say no.
I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Right. No, but I mean, you see a beautiful woman, you want to have that. You're a guy who likes to have everything, right?
Well, couldn't that be construed, however, as
conflict?
Yes.
I don't see it as a conflict.
It could be a conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later on.
The question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with vagina. And
well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that.
So you have done that. Now,
I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else, and no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that. Against China. I just hate that their leaders are so much smarter than our leaders. 2016, we will not be the world leader anymore. We have been always. But in 2016, China becomes the great economic leader. Even ties, shirts, cufflinks, everything sold at Macy's, and they're doing great. #1 selling tie in Bangladesh.
Ties? Where are the ties
they
made?
Have to work
These are
too.
Beautiful ties.
They are great ties.
The ties are made in where? China? Ties are made in China.
Wait, with respect, we went back. We went back and looked at this.
Yes.
The rating from the Better Business Bureau was a D-. That's the last publicly available rating. There was Trump University, which was a business that you started, and it was marketed to many people. And now there is a class action of over 5,000 plaintiffs against you, Mr. Trump.
Right.
And it involves veterans, and it involves teachers, and it involves so-called little guys, working class and lower working class and middle class, who say that they were fleeced.